All right, we want to start our study of religion, comparative religion, or religious studies, with some reasons why we do this. We think it's interesting, obviously, and that's reason enough, but there are a number of skills that can be gained from this, a number of insights, and that's what I want to talk briefly about. All right, reason number one is understanding religion will help us understand people better and will create a more tolerant individual. We live in a multicultural world since globalization, and you will work with people from other cultures, but I don't have to convince students at Hoover High School of this. We are already in a multicultural environment. We rub shoulders with Christians, Jews, Hindus, Muslims, Jains, Buddhists. I haven't met any Buddhists yet, but I'm sure there are some. And so we already live this. We need to understand religion to understand these people with whom we work and forge friendships more closely. Number two is we want to understand the world better. Knowing about religion is key to understanding current events. Understanding Islam, obviously, is something that leaps to mind. There are others as well, but that's an obvious point. But understanding religion is also the key to cultural literacy. In 1988, a guy named E.D. Hirsch wrote a book called Cultural Literacy. His premise being that, yeah, it's great that we're teaching, excuse me, it's great that we're teaching critical thinking, but we don't need to stop teaching facts. There are certain facts you need to know to understand your culture. And Stephen Prothero, who I've already talked about in his book, Defending Religious Literacy, says, quote, "Working as a religious studies professor also means being committed to seeing the study of religion as an indispensable part of a liberal education, to viewing religious literacy as a key component, perhaps the key component, to what Hirsch called cultural literacy." We need to know things, to not look ignorant. Third reason, there are skills we can learn, specifically the skill of suspension of judgment. In a speech to religious studies majors at Brown University, there's a journalist focusing on comparative religion named Nathan Schneider. He listed several skills that comparative religion fosters. One of those he called the suspension of judgment about truth claims. What I mean by that is, let's say you're a Christian and you believe the Christian cosmogony story, the creation story, but you're studying Hinduism and you're studying their creation stories. You learn to sort of suspend. You're not changing it, but you suspend your truth claims to let your mind go in and see something else. Just like readers suspend disbelief when they read fiction. That is a very good skill for the humanities, but really for life in general, and even for science. If a scientist can suspend judgment about truth claims, they may see a new truth they would not have seen before. So suspension of judgment. 4 is another skill that Schneider lists. It's interdisciplinarity. Big word. It means finding connections across very different disciplines. He said in his speech, quote, "It's not uncommon to hear a religion grad student say she's planning to learn sociology or economics or Tibetan over the weekend. Knowing a lot of things and seeing connections and patterns in those things. That's an important part of religious studies." Reason number 5 to pursue religious studies. Fantastic stories. Stories and myths that explain the way the world works. Stories that give meaning and shape to human reality. For example, the creation story in the Bible explains why the world is the way it is in great detail. Whether you literally believe this story or not, it certainly shapes the worldview of all Jews, Christians, and Muslims, which just happens to be just over half the world's population. And there are lots and lots of others you'll learn about. A writer need never look any further than the content of this course for a lifetime of ideas. 6th reason for pursuing religious studies, we are not living in a secular world. In the 19th century, some thinkers predicted the death of religion. Enlightenment thinkers said that religion would have withered away by now. That was obviously very wrong. On the contrary, The dispiriting and alienating effects of living in a modern or urban capitalist society has led to a spiritual crisis, and that crisis has led, in some cases, to a doubling down on the importance of religion, not in ways that are always healthy. Fundamentalism in Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Hinduism is sometimes a problem. We need to understand these religious issues. Number 7. Let's say you dismiss number 5 and 6 and insist on a healthy atheism. I'm assuming you're a friendly atheist because an angry atheist would see no point in this course. But let's say you are. Religion is still valuable. Alain de Botton, whose TED Talk I show you in class, has written this book, Religion for Atheists. His point is religion, we shouldn't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Religion has a lot to say about how to travel, i.e. how to go on a pilgrimage, a lot about how to indoctrinate, how to use art to instruct. And there's much to be gained from this, even if you don't want the dogma and the doctrine. 8th reason, comparative religion offers spiritual insights. This is we study religion in comparative religion. We don't do religion. That would be illegal. Nevertheless, there is sort of a secret passenger, a course in spirituality. We can take valuable spiritual ideas without adopting an entire religion. Jews have a lot to say about suffering that's very useful, even if you don't become a Jew or ascribe to Judaism. Buddhism has a lot to say about worldly attachments that can increase happiness. There's a lot to learn. Reason number 9, it linked to number 8, comparative religion can provide you with insights about your own faith, your own beliefs. In fact, this seems to never fail in this class. You'll learn things about your own faith you didn't know, and you will perceive aspects of other religions that you may not have considered before, and that when viewed through the prism of your own religious beliefs actually clarifies and deepens those beliefs. For example, the anti-materialism of Buddhism, to which I just alluded, you may see when you study that how well that fits with Christianity and what Jesus taught about material life. And those are really good insights. Finally, the study of comparative religion is just extremely cool. And you, by extension, would be very cool for studying it.